Hi, I'm Joanna and I make YouTube videos about budget traveling and ways to save money while you're traveling. So if you do enjoy this content, then please subscribe to the channel and like the video and leave a comment. What are your best budget travel tips for 2023? So these are all tips that I have learned about over the past years and that have saved me quite a bit of money, and maybe you find these also insightful. My first tip is to check the exchange rates and to find an efficient way to exchange your currency. Now, in the past, I used to take cash everywhere and go to some random place and get my money exchanged there, and mostly I got a really bad rate and I lost money, and to be honest, I didn't really notice it because, well, I didn't really compare exchange rates or didn't see that there was a service charge included. However, a few years ago I found Revolut. This is not an ad, by the way, but it has helped me a lot to exchange currencies by just topping up my card with, for example, £200 and simply exchanging it into euros, and I can use the same card in any shop while I'm traveling. My second tip is to list all your costs before you actually even book your holiday. Now, what I do is I run through my trip from the point I actually leave the flat. So the first thing I do is I take the bus to the airport, and depending on which airport I'm flying from, I would have to pay between 14 and 20 or 25 pounds per person. Now, this would be my first cost, and then when I do my research, I also include then the flight costs, and then I have also maybe got a hotel in mind and I would write that down, and I would list everything down until I have my total amount, and then I see, okay, is this actually in my budget? Can I afford this holiday, or is it maybe too pricey and I have to postpone it to save up a little bit for this holiday and just do it then next year. Yesterday, for example, I was all set to book a holiday for 2 days in Switzerland, and I had found cheapish flights to Geneva and, yeah, a cheapish hotel as well. However, Ian came along and said, well, we would be flying from Edinburgh. This means that we would probably pay about £25 per person for the transportation alone to the airport, and then if we think about all the costs that would come along with the transportation from the airport in Geneva to the hotel, plus everything that we would spend in Switzerland, it would be well above our budget, and it's not really worth going to Switzerland for 2 nights for that price. And we decided to better just do it another time, save up a little, and maybe we can enjoy the holiday a little bit more. My third tip is that budget airlines are not always the cheapest option, and I have learnt the hard way. I used to think Ryanair, EasyJet and Wizz Air are my best friends, and I never even looked at other airlines. But the truth is that other things can also add to your flight costs. For example, the flight times. I once landed pretty late in Amsterdam. Well, I didn't really think about that, but yeah, when I landed, I realized, well, I'm far too late to get the last train. So I had to book a hotel room, which was basically 6 times my flight price, and I went completely over budget. So yeah, do your research. Sometimes budget airlines are not the cheapest option. There are many things that to consider when booking a flight, and sometimes it is just better to take maybe the more expensive flight, which includes your hand luggage and maybe a suitcase, rather than taking the budget option from a budget airline. My fourth tip is to pack light. Now, this might seem to be obvious because you're saving money, you don't need to buy an additional suitcase. However, you also don't have to really think about your luggage. Packing light can save you a lot of hassle. For example, when you land early at your destination and you can only check in a few hours, then you don't need to necessarily lock away your luggage, but you can just take it around with you if you don't have a lot anyway. And the same applies to when you fly back home on your last day. You don't need to necessarily leave it at the hotel and see the city, for example, and then go back to the hotel, but you can just take it along with you if you don't have a lot anyway. My fifth tip is to have a budget day during your holidays, and you'll probably be thinking, oh, I don't want to think about money or budgets or anything like that. During my holiday, I'm here to have fun, and I completely agree. However, I do think there are fun ways of making days a bit less spendy and just saving money here and there to help your overall budget. For example, last year, Ian and I flew to Croatia, and after a few days, we quickly realized that we would be going well over budget if we keep spending like this. So what we did was we decided to cook our meals at home and to have a beach day. And I think we did this twice, and we really saved money by not having drinks all the time in restaurants or bars, but maybe having a few drinks at home. Yeah, we didn't feel deprived in any way, and we still had a lot of fun. It's just about having small things that you can tweak, and maybe you can just save a bit money here and there. You can then spend that on something that you would maybe value a bit more. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below, what are your best budget travel tips for 2023? And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more budget travel content. Bye!